Hey guys, Elite Legionario here, bringing you a 2 versus 2 for Rome Total War on the, I actually forget this map, I think it's like Carthaginian shore, I don't know, it's from Bell's mod map anyway. I'm in command of the Julli Romans, and my ally here, it's all about fun, is Carthage. Our opponents are Cosmic Vortex, who is the Seleucid Empire, and Wormat 59, who is Germania. As you can see, he's got a major break of CWB rules. So, yeah, this was 12.5k CWB, so as you can see, a big break in his lineup there. But not really said anything about it. I just thought whatever, it'll be a good challenge to verse them berserkers. So, yeah. Anyway, I have for my main infantry line, which is usually my core infantry, are legionary cohorts. I have 5 gold legionary cohorts. I think they're a very good realistic representation of Roman infantry without being overpowered and still being quite capable of doing many tasks. I think they're very good all around. I have 4 units of gold attack Roman archers, just standard there, and I have 4 units of silver legionary cavalry. Being silver, they're not like, they're decent. They're a very decent cavalry unit, in my opinion. A match for Sacred Band Cav and Companion Cav, but they can be beaten by them. But in a straight out melee fight, I find that they actually succeed against both those units. But in a charge, they don't do quite as well. Also got 2 units of peasants. Now you're probably wondering why I'd bring peasants. Now the peasants are here to absorb what I suspected I'd be up against opposition unit using chosen axemen with Germania, and as you know, a full charge by a chosen axeman against legionary cohort can be very devastating with that armoured piercing axe of theirs, especially if they're covered. When I use Germania against Rome, I'll always bring like a junk, like a naked fanatic, to take the peeler, so that way I can get my chosen axemen into the line. And I mean, they can even rip into urban cohorts and rip them up, so legionary cohorts are in quite a bit of danger from chosen axemen in that capacity. So what I have brought the peasants for is to absorb that charge, basically. They'll absorb that charge, and then I can toss my peeler while they get stuck on my peasants. And once they lose a bunch of men to peeler, they're very easily dispatched. So that's my army anyway, and my thinking. My ally has gone with 4 gold Sacred Band hoplites, so this gives him the best infantry in the game, but he does only have 4. But even 4 of these guys could be extremely deadly, so it's a good advantage for us. He's also got, I think it's 4 units of gold Balearic slingers. That's a lot of money to put onto slings. Balearic slingers are excellent though. They do outrange standard archers, but I probably wouldn't have spent that much on them. Probably that they don't need a lot. They're very good, and he's also got 3 units of gold Sacred Band Cav. So he's quite well rounded, but I probably wouldn't spend quite as much on the Balearic slingers. But nonetheless, they can be very effective. So if he uses them right, he's got very good opportunity to do a lot of damage. So the Seleucid force, looks like there's 1, 2, 3, 4 units of gold attack gold archers. So there's some better archers than me anyway, but they still struggle against those Balearic slingers. Although because of the nature of this map, then it being sloped in their favour, it'll probably be even, nullifying the range advantage probably to a certain extent. He's got 1, 2, 3 units of, looks to be gold silver shield pikes. He's got gold silver shield legionnaire. There's a gold cataphract. There's another gold cataphract. And I believe he's got some other stuff out. No, that's the archers, and way out here. I don't know what this was made of. I think they're trying to slip around behind us while we're distracted, but it's a little too obvious. 2 units of militia cav, 1 with 3 upgrades and 1 with 2 upgrades. So that's his army. Now the German player has, let's see, I think it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 units of non-upgraded berserkers. So no upgrades, but berserkers, being berserkers, as you know, are extremely overpowered. Have to be very careful in dealing with them. In conjunction with Knight Raiders, 2 chosen axemen, an axeman, another Knight Raider, some skirmish warband, and of course a spear warband, and sizable. Let's see, he's got 1 barbarian chosen warlord and 4 light barbarian cavalry. So none of this has upgrades, so that doesn't give him actually a very strong army, but although those berserkers are still a very real threat, and he is smart enough to keep them out of arrow range back there, but nothing else is a threat in his army. He's just not upgraded enough, and it won't stand up to any of our infantry at all. So But those berserkers make this an extremely dangerous fight for us, because if they get in there and we don't deal with them, it won't matter. Their sheer overpoweredness will do a lot of damage. And here, as you can see, the slope range is actually quite more significant than you anticipate, because these skirmisher warband actually have my peasants in range. So I'm just going to get rid of them. I'm not too concerned about our preservation at the moment. I don't suspect. We do have missile supremacy, I guess, and we do have cav supremacy, but infantry, well, they got more of it, but we have better. But although those berserkers make it so, they've got a terrain supremacy, although nothing spectacular, but it is a continually sloped all the way down. So anyway, we've moved ourselves out here over to the left flank, basically, to try and reposition ourselves. I felt that down here was more of an uphill climb. By moving around here, we kind of closed it a bit, but they did cut us off, so that was smart. But the idea of closing that terrain feature is good. And I wanted to sort of get things going kind of quickly with all this cav so far away. To me, it's a little too obvious what they're attempting to do here, to be honest. And it would just be, if you're going to try something like that, then you probably don't want to be that far out, because it kind of looks too obvious that you're trying to slip around the back unnoticed, which just means the person's going to notice you more if you go that far. So seeing as I see that the upgrades on these Knight Raiders is very, not Knight Raiders, just this general German front line here is very limited. I'm not too worried when they start shooting my peasants, because I figure that in this capacity they will take a lot of his arrows, so that means I will have more staying power and a longer protracted missile jaw if such an event should occur. So I'm going to let that happen and let them just shoot my peasants like so. So that should chew up, by the time I get rid of those peasants, it should chew up maybe a quarter of some of the units at the rate that's going. Seeing as using fire arrows, I don't know what that's in aid of, because that's not going to really make a lot, slow me down. We don't have range yet, and you might have noticed in a minute or before, I'm not sure, I might have missed it already, that my ally here actually fused his archers, his Balearic slingers into my line, and this was basically because I'm not sure what he was. I think he wanted to just increase our sheer rate of fire from one position, but the problem with that is it nullifies the usefulness of loose formation, because we just pack us all tight together, and by being packed up tight together like that, obviously there'll be more chance that their arrows will hit us. So I told him not to do it, which he responded to, which is good. But this Sacred Band of hoplites will just cream any infantry on this field. Even these berserkers will not even go near it. Even if they get into their flank, they probably would do a lot of damage to them, but I still don't think they'd be able to hurt them that much. They're very well upgraded, and Sacred Band is just an excellent infantry unit all around. Better than my infantry, but my infantry is also better than any of these except the berserkers. But I mean, berserkers are one of those sort of stupid units, really. I think they're useful, I guess. Sometimes I like to use them against Rome in the cavalry department, because Germania will obviously lose a cav fight against Rome unless it's clever, and sometimes a berserker can just make a nice edge. I don't stick any upgrades on it. So here he's going to send one of his cataphracts out to my archers. I did spot it just in time, I think. And I'm actually going to, I do attempt to steady withdrawal, but I'm going to let him catch that unit so he gets bogged down like this, and then I'm going to use these other two to wrap him around, basically. This cataphract is gold, and vastly better than my legionary cohort there, legionary cavalry rather, but I do get a nice encirclement on them, so hopefully that will rout them. But I mean, as you can see, they're holding in there very, very well, even fully encircled. But cataphracts, as you can see, it's only balanced now, and they're starting to get defeated. So even though these cataphracts are gold and a lot better, the whole encirclement thing has a bad effect on cataphracts. So here he does something quite smart. He charges me here outright, and I didn't want to waste my peeler on them. I wanted to use them on the berserkers, but unfortunately for me, I should have just thrown my peeler, because now they're going to get stuck in an engaged fight, and they'll just not use their peeler at all. So that wasn't a great idea. So here's this massive horde of German berserkers coming in, but he hasn't done a very good job of getting engaged. I mean, he's clumped himself up, so this gives gives me time to hold in. As you can see, my cohort's having no trouble with these standing units, but once these berserkers get in, there's going to be some serious difficulty for me. But I'm going to use these two, my remaining cav, to destroy this German infantry. I believe I can destroy it because it's not heavily upgraded, so I'm just going to completely encircle it, and it does cause a large rout of these berserkers. So they weren't that great a threat, most likely as great a threat as they'd normally be because they didn't have many upgrades. So here comes his cav, and I was actually not worried they were going for my archers there, because I was willing to let my archers die if I could destroy the German line and preserve my infantry, and as you can see I've clearly achieved this, although not without heavy losses. And now his cav comes in, and I'm going to be able to actually use my cav, my own infantry rather, to intercept. I'm going to bring my cav back in and finish that group off as well, while he's receiving a nice volley of arrows right in the back. He probably should have continued going for my archers, but he had to choose between those archers or saving his own men, and he chose to save his own men, and it's turned out that it's not worked either way, so it's very pleasing to me. So not that surprised though, his army wasn't that heavily upgraded, so that's pretty much yeah, I don't personally think using unupgraded armies in Rome Total War works that well. It can work, I'm not saying it can't, and it can certainly be an excellent challenge to try it, but in my opinion it's just not as good. So I mean, like in Shogun and Napoleon, definitely Napoleon Empire, and even Medieval 2 to a certain extent, it can be different, quantity can count more than, but in this game quality is just absolutely everything. Look at this berserker just going crazy. So that leaves the Seleucid player more or less on his own. Very little of the German forces survived that assault on me, and as you can see my cohorts, well, they did take a beating. I think I lost a whole unit, but against that many berserkers and that many infantry altogether, and that many cavalry, I'm pretty impressed with their efforts. In my opinion, I've heard people say they're crap. I cannot understand the reasoning. They're not crap. Definitely not crap. I mean, there's units. Are there units out there better than them? Definitely. But are they crap? Definitely not. They are a very capable and powerful infantry unit. And I think make a very good core to the Roman line, because like urban cohorts is too powerful. Praetorian cohorts pretty fair, I think, but at the same time legionary cohort are cheaper, so you can put a little more into your cav, so which is quite useful, especially if you're using Praetorian cav, which is actually it's very good. It's not as strong as cataphracts, but in some ways I think it's more effective than cataphracts, because cataphracts sort of have a morale thing and they tire a lot faster, whereas Praetorian cav don't, and they're a little bit cheaper too, so it gives Rome really too much power though that it really shouldn't have. So here he's going to bin me some Pila, and I didn't react to this very quickly, but I'm going to bring in my archers to act as a Pila shield, but I'm doing that too slowly, and I don't believe, I thought I would have turned on my own Pila by now, so I'm sure I still had stuff left. That or I was repositioning, so I did lose a few men in this unit to Pila, so that probably wasn't the best move. And Silver Shield Legionnaires and Legionary cohorts are like pretty much identical. They're like the stats are the same, they're as good as one another. And now I turn on my Pila, and it's going to be a Pila war, basically. So here's some nice shots, Pila throwing, and these pikemen are going to take some nice losses. I think it's really, in most cases, not every case, but as a general, if you're going up against Rome, especially as a phalanx faction, it's very essential you have a Pila shield, otherwise you're just going to lose far too many men. As you can see, these units each lost about 20 men just in a couple of volleys of Pila. I mean, if they'd been moving cohort, they would have lost more, much more. So that it tells you something. I mean, even this unit here lost quite a few. They're the ones that got hit by the Pila. So I've put my archers, this unit of archers in front to absorb. It's the weakest, I think it's my weakest archer unit, or one of my weakest archer units. But by this point, they're in pretty big trouble, and I believe the engagement's begun over here. Obviously the Sacred Band are going to win this fight. That's you don't need to be a genius of Rome Total War to know that. I only expect newer players not to know that, but Sacred Band is a lot better than the Silver Shield Pikemen, plus they're getting outflanked too by that, so they're dead meat. and here he's going to engage over this side. I don't think I spotted this at the time. I'd like to point out though, when this video and the next several Rome Total War videos are done at a point when I was playing a lot of Shogun and For the Samurai and various other bits and pieces of the Total War series and other games completely, and I hadn't played a lot of Rome Total War, so my micro was really depleted. Like, I was definitely making lots of shoddy sort of mistakes just in the micro area that I wouldn't usually make. So if you notice that I don't play as well, that will be why. So this Cataphract here does a very good job of holding down against these Sacred Band, 3 Sacred Band Cav and a Sacred Band Hoplite. So I was very surprised it lasted this long, but once it got surrounded again, it went. Cataphracts just go when they get surrounded. So if you want good ways to get rid of Cataphracts, is surround them and try and exhaust them. Make them chase you around a bit, and then their morale, that with this, the bad morale they have under a surround and their tiredness will cause them to rout extremely quickly. So if you're having trouble with Cataphracts, there is some weaknesses you can exploit. And I'm not sure why I held back so long. So this is probably some of this micro errors that I was telling you guys about. I don't know, I really should have just went it. I think what I was trying to do was, I moved my archers around the flank and I wanted to shoot the flanks and thin them out some more. But all in all, I probably should have just gone in sooner. So, as I said, a few micro errors because I wasn't playing it very frequently when I did this. So, hopefully I can get my micro back into the swing. So here I'm going to bring a hammer and anvil striking with my remainder cav, but I haven't got many left. But I think I succeeded in doing that anyway. And I bring the rest of my legionary cohorts in, and of course Silver Shield Legionnaires won't be a match, plus they're a bit weakened and exhausted. And over here, the remainder of this other Seleucid unit's getting cleaned out by my Carthaginian ally, and there I kill the Seleucid general. So I think the German general still lives though. Yeah, there he is, there on his horse. So that's pretty much the end of this fight. And like I said, you probably noticed me making micro mistakes, and you'll probably notice it in a few more of my videos because, like I said, I haven't been playing much Rome. I've only played like a couple of times in like 5 weeks or something, so I've gotten a lot worse. And I mean, I just have to, I think I've mentioned it in other videos, I have to play reasonably frequently if I want to keep up in the micro area with, moving my troops around fast and being on the top of it. And if I don't, I can get sort of sloppy and slow in that area, and you'll probably notice that in some of my preceding videos, or succeeding videos that have come after this one. Anyway, we're just cleaning out what's left. I think I'll just go to triple speed now, it's nearly over. Just cleaning out what's left of their forces. But in this fight, basically just a combination of timing our strikes right, I think, was working to our favour, and trying to get we tried to get better terrain positioning, and that's about to end, so I'll just pause that. And trying to get better terrain positioning basically if we could, but they were clear about it and they blocked us. But I think Wormat 59, he was a nice guy. I believe he even subscribed to my channel after this video, so I'm very thankful for that. But I mean, I don't know if he doesn't know CWB, then I don't have a problem with it. But if you don't know, ask, But his army wasn't very upgraded, and as you can see, it doesn't really pay off unless you're quite a good player who can really manage it. Not that I'm saying he's a bad player, but it's a lot tougher. So anyway, here's the stats here: 1,182 deployed for me, 1,162 kills, so pretty much a kill for every man in the army. 561 left, so I still have at least half my men left. It's all about fun. 807. He had 778 kills and 583 left, so he did very well as well. Cosmic Vortex, 1,062 men deployed, 639 kills and 78 men left. So he did a pretty nice job in his team too, and Wormat with 315 kills and 52 men remaining. Again, the quality of his army, not many upgrades, so it didn't really have a lot of staying power, and you need to take those things into account on Rome Total War quite a bit. So if you have a look at my legionary cohorts, some pretty big numbers of kills there. I'm pretty pleased with them. A couple of my cav didn't come off the greatest, but the other two didn't do too shabby, especially this one, but I think it was a lot of routers. So legionary cavalry is certainly very capable. It can beat Sacred Band Cav and Companion Cav, so it's certainly a reliable unit and slightly cheaper than Praetorian Cav. Plus I just like to use them because I think it's more fair for Rome to be slightly nerfed or weakened, I guess, against opponents, seeing as Rome is so powerful in this. so that's why I like to do it. Plus I just like to use some different armies for a change. My archers very well, except for this unit here, but other than that they actually did really well. They probably came out them and the cohorts came out the best. And the peasants, although they didn't get used my original use, they still served a useful purpose. So anyway, good game. It's all about fun. Cosmic Vortex and Rome at 59. Hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'll be bringing you some more Rome Total War soon. So I'll see you next time.